Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Andy from Andy Plays Golf, obviously. Right, I'm in my cupboard. This is where I do my editing and my studies and everything else like that. It's quite cosy, but you can call me Harry Potter if you want. I should probably get a pen and draw a wee scratch. Right, so today's video was something I was kind of hoping not to put out. I think I have to. I'm hoping it's going to help somebody out there who's maybe struggling with it. I lost my swing. That's the basics of it. And what I mean by lost it is that I was setting up to the ball. I was really not confident about hitting a shot. 9 times out of 10 it would end up in a shank. So I was completely hosel hitting the shot. If you look back at my previous videos, you'll see I'm very rigid when I swing the golf club. That's not always been the case. That's only been in the last couple of months. I'll come back to that. There's going to be a wee bit of talking, and I'm actually going to jump over and show you on the screen some funny things, but also the process and what I've done to try and fix my swing. I've not got a coach, I've not got anywhere to go for lessons. That's going to change. Right, so this is Thursday, and on Monday I've actually booked in with a coach to go and get a lesson, a proper coach. It needs to be done. There's a lot of things I need to change about my swing, so I'm hoping we can try and iron them out. I wanted to get to a certain level. I wanted to be able to at least try and hit a golf ball. I don't want to be spending money on someone telling me the fundamental basics of how to play golf when I feel that I should already know that. So if any of you have any shank issues, hopefully this video is going to maybe try and help you reduce that. I'll just give you a wee bit of background about lessons and what I've done. I've been playing golf for years. I'm 32 years of age, and I've probably been playing golf since I was about 6 or 7. It's some variation of golf. So swinging a golf club's relatively natural. I understand the movements, understand where things need to be, and understand how to strike the ball. Not hit it, but strike the ball and compress the ball. I understand that. A wee while ago, I thought I'm getting some inconsistencies around my striking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and speak to a coach, a professional. First time I'd ever had any lessons. I'm not going to tell you where I went. It was a large brand. The coach was very good, really good, and he knew his stuff. There were a couple of things he told me to do. One of them was addressing the golf club steeper. So you'll see my videos, my hands are quite high, shoulders are up. I look at address very rigid. That was working fine. I started hitting my irons really well, especially my more lofted irons, and again I'll come back to that. I started nipping the ball up in the air, started reducing distance, but I was happy that the ball would go roughly in 100 shots, for instance, maybe 85, 90 of them would be in the general direction that I was aiming. I'm happy with that, really happy. Started then doing competitions at my club, got my handicap. That's where the 16 handicap came from. Everything was great, happy with it. About 2 months ago, I started getting the feeling of standing up at the golf ball and thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel as if I've lost the natural ability to hit the golf ball. You lift the golf club in the air and it's away. It's completely gone. And all you need is 2 or 3 shank shots or 2 or 3 bad shots, and that's it, man. Game over. Series game over. I then brought it back. I can't remember how, but I brought it back, and then all of a sudden it's gone again because I thought I'm going to go back to this steep shaft. So the most recent video of me playing, you've probably seen that I'm very rigid and how I bring the club up and back through. That's only been recently that's happened. Me and Wilson went to the golf course. It wasn't great condition, it was quite wet. I wasn't happy with obviously how I'm playing. Tried a couple of wee things, and it seriously made some big changes in my golf game. Not even in the way that I hit the ball, but in the way that when I stand up to the ball, that confidence, came back so quick that I thought there's a good chance that I could hit this close. But I'm also reverting back to my swing before I went to the coach, but modified slightly. Modified in the way that I understand why he was telling me to lift the shaft up for higher lofty clubs. So one thing he definitely spoke to me about was the different angles of a swing plane. He spoke to me about how your driver's got to be a certain swing plane, your 4-5 iron's got to be a swing plane, your 7-8 iron, and then up to your wedges have got to be as if you're kind of nipping up and down. I never knew that. Nobody ever told me that. There was nothing I knew. I just thought there was one swing plane and I had to hit the ball. So understanding that was great. Now I know why. Now I can put that into my game. So I'm going to run some things through in the computer. I'm going to do some screen recording on the computer. I'm going to show you what was happening in my swing. I think we'll maybe go in the kitchen probably, and I'm going to show you what I changed to hopefully try and help you. If it helps one person, I'm going to be happy, but this is also more for a documentation of what I'm going through. If you see any resemblance to your swing, hopefully it should help. Right, so let's go. So I've got 3 clips here. These are clips that were taken at the driving range the other day, and I've got the clips from my swing today. These red lines, if anybody wants to know, I think it's Virtual Pro I used. I've just screenshotted these. It's Virtual Pro I used to add in the lines and things. So obviously this line here, which is going to be noticeable for how much either I sway and also how much I'm pushing into the ball, as kind of that extending through or standing up through the downswing. Obviously the camera's not directly in line with my bum. You'll see it better in these clips, but this is just going to give you an idea of what's happening. This is my address line. Again, it's going to be coming round slightly because it's not directly in line, and I just want to kind of draw attention to the amount of movement in my head. I expect it to move up and down. I'm not a tall guy, so I do need to kind of push into the ball. I'm happy with my stance. I'm fine with my stance. My posture and everything is okay. I could probably be a wee bit more athletic, but that big round bit there prevents me from feeling athletic. Let's just put it that way. Right, so as I said, I'm not a coach or a pro or anything. This is just my own observations. If you see anything that you think I should maybe speak to the coach about, or anything that I think I could work on, go and let me know. For a fact, it helps the algorithm, and you know, if you put comments on my video and like it, so please do. But if you do see anything, feedback is greatly appreciated. Even if you just want to get your bit in and you don't really know what you're talking about like me, great, that's what I do. Right, we'll move over to the second clip. This one is my overextension of the golf club. You can see it actually causes my gaze to come off the ball. Right, there is a period in my swing that I do lose focus. When I was a wee guy, I was very, very flexible, and I used to get my golf club, I mean, see long drivers, it used to go all the way down there, and I was fine with that. I could actually still keep eye contact with the ball. It's not now. There's no way I can do that now. There is sway in my swing, so I have pushed slightly, and that's something which I'm not too fussed now about. It's minimal, but I just want to kind of draw attention to the overextension of the golf club here. I took it out just round that line, so it's not really a great representation of if I'm swinging on the swing line, because you can't really see it from there. The next one shows my impact. So this is, you can see how much I've moved away, right? So I've completely swayed away. I've not just moved away, I've actually pushed my bum forward towards the ball. Fortunately, this drive was okay. Serious loss of distance and very, very common slice off to the right here. Target, I think, is that middle line, or just one of these lines when I'm at the range, but it starts on line and fades off, or it'll be a straight push to the right. I just want to, it's not a great shot this, but you can clearly see in the video footage of this, I'm coming over the top of it. I'm swinging quite shallow, and then I'm coming up and then over the top. It's causing me to get a lot of heel strikes, a lot, and that's where the shank's coming from. When I sat and I watched this video, I had a wee reference point to my head. I wanted to make sure that my head wasn't, that's okay. I'm trying to scoop the ball here because I know I'm losing distance, so I'm thinking to myself, right, well, let's do a wee scoop up in there and try and lift the ball. It's not going to happen, but the head can kind of fall in line with my body. I know that if I can fix this gap here, then this guy up here should be fine. I'm going to show you my swing today, and then we're going to go over what I've done. Today's address looks a lot different to the other day's address, right? You'll see very, very straight arms. There's this kind of one linkage, which might be okay for most golfers. It's kind of got that Bryson DeChambeau look. It's very, very steep, you know, that's pointing above the belly gut there, whereas this one is pointing at the belly gut. It's also, my arms are coming a wee bit more down, whereas in this one, I'm very, very straight. I'm actually, you can see, slightly hunched over. This one, it just looks a lot better. It really, really does. For me anyway, you've got the straight-ish back. I'm happy with my posture here. Target line's down there, so I'm following slightly. I've made a wee circle here for my hands because I just want to show you where I bring the club, right? So reference points are obviously the gap from my last one, where the club comes in at. and the hands. Head, not too fussed about the now. Here's my backswing. The club is coming up that line, right? So my hands actually followed up that line. You can see I'm a lot shallower. My elbows tucked in quite considerably. If anything, I'm pushing back on this. I'm sitting down on the backswing. Head, not a lot of movement, but look at where my eyes are. Keep concentration of where the eyes are, and obviously remember my last drive, my club was way down here, so we're going to keep an eye on that. So I'm looking right at that ball. There's no breaking eye contact. Again, I'm still sitting in the shot. My elbows tucked in okay. I'm bending that arm slightly. I need to sort that out. Again, I need to stop that kind of dip in the knee. There's a lot of things here, small changes, but the main important thing I'm thinking here is this, if I'm pushing back. Also, my club is aiming towards target line. It doesn't go any further than that. That is the last frame. That's actually, you can see there's a slight bow there because it's actually when I'm starting to come back down again. So the next one is where I was quite excited about. This was actually quite a good shot. We ended up down there. Distance on it was phenomenal. I think I was back up to my kind of 230, 240 carry. This one here, you can see there's no deviation from that original line. There's my address and there's my impact. So obviously the camera does move very slightly, but you can see all that's really happened there is a hip bump. I'm happy with that. We hip bump again, the head's dropped down again because I'm trying to still scoop it. I can deal with that. And my hands have actually came inside. This was a toe strike. I've not had a toe strike in about 2 months, and this was something I was quite excited about, to actually end up with toe strikes. I'm gonna just play two wee clips for you. I thought these were hysterical, and it just emphasises exactly what I've been doing. I'm twisting through the shot. I am so bloody rigid, really rigid, right? So this was at the driving range. I think the other one was as well, yeah. Right, so I'm just going to play this and we can watch it together. Just keep an eye on my legs and lower body. What is that? Really, it just shows you that, you know, look how rigid I am coming down, a wee bit of chicken arm, so rigid that my body actually takes off. Look at that. And then, you know, look at the bend in the shaft because I'm either gripping so tight. It's just horrible. Let's get that again. It genuinely nearly takes off. This was kind of similar, and this one goes along the lines of my twist, how I'm trying to twist through the shot rather than power through the shot. This rigidness I've got from the arms, you know, I'm just quickly going to go back to my address position on this. You know, look how much how more relaxed that is compared to the address. So rigidness even just for 24 hours ago, you know, it looks horrible. The only good point is this is I was sticking my head up a wee bit. It allowed me a wee bit more rotation around the shoulders, but yeah, this one's good. This one's really good. Look at the leg. And I know I done it because there we go. And I think at this point I say, oh, it was actually an okay drive. I got away with it, and I think I said to him, well, maybe that's what I need to do. I need to be flicking that leg up. It's really poor. You know, we'll just go back and look at it. You know, let's try and look at the takeaways. All right for me. I'm a wee bit open in the face. Look, but you just look at that, how extended I'm out. I'm so focused in keeping that straight arm that there's no, look at that sway. That's not a hip bump, that is a severe sway. And you can actually see I'm outstretched. Everything is stretched out here, which is okay if I'm coming round and up through the ball, but that's crazy, to the point that again I lift off. Look at that back leg, look at the trail leg, actually physically lifts off the mat and kicks round. Wild, man. The top comes up, the belly's out. Crazy, man, crazy. So yeah, I think for me, That's improved from there to there. Certainly impact position, you know, if we're doing the impact there, you know, kind of that. I don't really know. You'll probably be able to tell me more, but from there to there, it's similar, but I'm keeping that, which is stopping the shanks. Seems to be anyway. Hitting my irons was just, it was going back to hitting them like butter again. We'll go in the kitchen. I'm going to show you what I've done, things that I've looked at, things that I've worked on, and the feeling. Right, that's something that's massive to me, the feeling of the shot, and see if it's going to help any use. There's it previously. You can see that locked arm coming straight down. As I said, it's kind of got that Bryson DeChambeau feel about it, where it's the one club, but that's all about body rotation. Like you saw in those videos, you're twisting around after the shot because you're so frigid. I've went back to my arms being down. My club, there's this natural angle. On the way down, I'm seriously focusing on when I get that club parallel with the ground on my downswing. I'm focusing on keeping the arms close to my body. And it is to be honest, the only way I can describe it is when you're coming down, this arm takes over. You create that kind of flat wrist feeling, that arm takes over, and it's as if you're pushing the butt end of the club that way. That's the feeling, that's the only way I can describe it, is that when you're coming down, you're pushing, right, rather than lifting, standing up and flicking. So it's a push. And what that causes you to do is brush this arm, and that's what they tell you to do, you know, that brush the arm, the spank, or whatever you want to call it, and it's creating that. So imagine when you get your club on the descent that you're pushing the butt away. You're not bringing the club round, you're doing that, and your body rotates because this part's rotating, then the club follows. So face on, you're going to be coming down, you're pushing the butt away, and you will even maybe feel as if your hands are getting away from you. So when you push it down, your body rotates and you get that feeling. But the most important thing is your backswing goes away like that, and your downswing comes down the same plane. Whereas before I was coming away and I was coming over the top, which means that starting position was in the middle of the club, I was coming away and I was coming back onto the hosel. Whereas now I'm focusing on coming away and my club's swooping. It's swooping across the ball because I'm getting that butt end angled and it's hands first. So I'm just going to say this once again, I'm not a pro, I'm not a coach, that's just something that helped me. It helped me with stopping flicking, whereas I'm now more of a push through. That's the only way I can describe it. I think Mark Crossfield was the one that said try and visualise a ball, or try and visualise you're potting your ball like a snooker cue when you're coming down. It's like you're coming across it, and just let the club head follow. It will follow. You might get some dodgy hits, right? But this isn't something that it flicked with me. It took me a good couple of holes to get that feeling. But when I started doing that, I felt that connection in my body. I felt that swipe through again, the spine angle happening. And I'm not flexible. I've lost the flexibility. I seriously think something's happening with the gut getting in the way. I think my hands are trying to get around my body. If you're a bit of a bigger guy, you've maybe got a bit of a belly, try it. When you're at the range, just try that motion of bringing the club down, even just stopping there and butting the club away, and actually notice what happens with the head. Notice how the head follows and you get that action. Distance wise, my numbers on a 9-iron are normally 130 yards. We played a hole today where it was about 130 to the front of the green, about 150 to the back. I hit a 9-iron that pure, where before I was struggling to get a 9-iron above 100 yards. I ended up hitting the shot over the back of the green. And I mean, I just turned and looked at Wilson as if, where did that come from? Didn't even feel it in the club. It was so smooth. I looked and it was middled, right in the middle of the club. And what Wilson said to me was that all he could see was this lean you could see the shaft coming in before the club, whereas before I was trying to lift it. Try it, see what you think. So I'm going to the range tomorrow, so hopefully I can maybe do just a wee bit of filming and just see if it's seriously made an effect. So I'm going to film my lesson on Monday, and it's going to let you see the lesson process if none of you have ever been for a lesson. It's not a promotion for the guys not really interested in that. It's going to hopefully let you see what happens when somebody goes for a lesson, what you talk about. You'll see me acting like an excited wee boy when I start getting told things which are new to me, but I'm just glad I can go in with a fairly okay swing and we're not spending 20 minutes, half an hour sorting out a shank. We'll leave it there. As I say, is give the video a comment. Please put your thoughts down below. I'm genuinely interested in knowing what you guys think. There'll be a lot of yous out there like me who just make stuff up. This has helped me. If you're struggling with the shank, you're struggling with contact issues. One thing I did have a lot of as well was very, very steep divots. And I mean divots that would last a foot or longer. That's not the case. I'm getting divots which are after the ball. I'm getting divots which are probably that in length, very, very shallow, but still divots. That's maybe another wee thing to think about. Obviously you're not chopping down, it's more of a nice wee scoop spanking away. I think I've done enough talking, eh? But if you like this format of video, let me know. Put in the comments, it helps the algorithm, helps YouTube know that there's people watching my video. Give it a like. If you haven't already done so, there's about 60% of you guys watch my videos that aren't subscribed. I don't even know why any of you are actually subscribed. If you liked it, help a brother out, eh? This ring light's doing my boxing. I'm not into all this stuff. Thank you very much for watching. That's it. Behave yourselves. Take care. See you later, guys.